So I'm Adam Matthews. I lead the international programme for the Centre for Digital Built Britain, and as part of that role I create international relations with governments around the world collaborating on BIM. So the aim of the programme is to create a common global approach towards BIM, encouraging alignment across different countries, the idea being that if we all take a similar approach to what we call digital construction, then we're able to trade more easily, we're able to exchange our competencies and capabilities across borders, i.e. smoother trading. So we started the programme about 3 years ago, and a couple of major developments over the period have included helping to set up and form a European-wide group called the EU BIM Task Group, which is a collective of public officials, primarily public clients and policymakers, that would like to collaborate and develop and align on BIM so that there is this one common approach to BIM across Europe. So this was set up in 2015, started by about 10 countries, it's now got 24 countries. Most recently Latvia have joined the group, and it's supported also by the European Commission. And so this is helping to develop a common European approach for when the public sector introduce BIM. It's developed a handbook as a result of this, the EU BIM handbook. Further afield, the international programme has also developed memorandum of understanding. These are agreements with other countries, with governments in other countries, specifically in Latin America, so Chile, Brazil, we have one in progress with Mexico as well, and that is sharing our approach to BIM from the UK perspective, but also taking benefits from our experiences, good and bad, and sharing those with those countries as well to help accelerate and improve their national BIM developments. Yeah, having a common approach to the adoption of BIM is very important. There's an emergence of BIM across the world from a bottom-up perspective. That is to say, different organisations, different countries are doing their own thing, but actually increasingly governments are realising that they can take a public leadership role to encourage BIM in a strategic and top-down approach. That's very important, because then within countries you can all use the same process and the same ideas and concepts when introducing BIM into public infrastructure projects, and this effect improves the ability for projects to gain a productivity benefit rather than reinventing the wheel on every single project. Now the same idea is true across countries. If we across the globe can take a similar process and standards-based approach to BIM, then by doing so we also gain a big efficiency and productivity benefit for all of us, because we have one single approach rather than many different approaches, all costing, adding costs to the process. I think one of the challenges we face now is just huge demand. I think there is a huge amount of interest in terms of what the UK has done over the past 4 or 5 years, and I think the challenge we face now is actually how we service that demand from a relatively small team. So I have one colleague, Richard Lane, who supports exactly in this area of capacity development of those public officials in other countries. So Richard supports the training development, and one of those developments that we're keen to get going is an online training course, a way of scaling the training ability of our programme to countries around the world that are interested. Key goals looking ahead this year. One is absolutely to continue the work we've done with our European partners and colleagues to promote the work of the EU group around Europe, and also to support training development in Europe. From a Latin America perspective, one of the key goals we have is to continue supporting our country partners there under the MOUs. Specifically also of interest is the possible development of a Latin American BIM hub. So the same idea as the European BIM hub, where you've got governments coming together to share and create a common aligned view of BIM. at a national level. We also have the opportunity, and Chile are leading on this activity, which is to create a regional Latin America hub, which will help them create good understanding, common understanding, and then align those developments in the region. I think for me, one of the striking characteristics of working around Europe and around Latin America and Asia is the sense of collaboration and a sense of working together, and the issues that we have, although we feel that they are going to be very different because we come from different parts of the world, we have different languages and different cultures, a lot of the questions that we have specifically on this transition to a digital built environment are very similar. The answers are generically quite similar as well. Obviously they need to be addressed in a particularly sensitive way to that culture and to that country. But the issues are very similar, and I think that creates learning for us as well. It's not like the UK is just off doing its own interesting journey which isn't relevant to everybody else. Quite the reverse. I think we're all on a journey, and I think that we're creating a lot of learning from our collaborations with Latin American countries, with Asia, and also with our European partners as well. Cambridge has made two important differences. One, first of all, it's helped to create structure and scale to our programme. We've had a successful programme, as I mentioned, to date, but we've been working rather reactively. I think what we've been able to do here working with Cambridge is to structure that and look forward, strategically plan more than a year ahead. This has been quite an important factor. I think secondly, having it at Cambridge, I think Cambridge is a world-renowned centre of excellence, certainly in terms of academic research and learning, and I think that's also helped attract visitors to our programme around the world.